Yes, sir. What's up? How you doing?
Yo, what's poppin'?
Yo, what's
Doing
good?
good,
What's
doing
good? What's
good.
good?
I yeah, I found you like maybe like 2, 3 months ago, and
Nice.
I like your content.
Cool. Like how did you get recommended? Were you actually looking for interviews and stuff, or were you
Yeah,
actually?
so
Yeah. Go ahead.
I probably just start with my background a little bit first. I'm a college student. I'm a sophomore going into my junior year. I'm gonna be transferring to a university this fall,
Nice.
and I was taking a DSA class, and I started doing like applications for stuff, and then I got one of those like online assessment stuff for TikTok, I think,
Yeah.
and I was like studying up on leak code, and then I saw like as I was studying up, you were doing the interview prep with people, and I was like
Nice.
watching that to like get a good feel for like I don't know like how it works and that type of stuff. Um, yeah,
So
that's how I found you.
you're not even in college yet?
No, no, no. I am in college right
Oh,
now.
okay.
I'm a
Nice.
sophomore. And I'm going into my junior year.
Oh,
I'm gonna
cool.
be transferring to like a university. I'm at a community college right now.
Nice. What uni are you going to? Like,
I'm going to Cal State Fullerton. I'm in California.
nice. Cool.
Yeah,
You're in SoCal, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I started with computer science, like all this stuff, like probably like 13 months. Yeah, about a year ago. So like I'm pretty new to this. So I'm definitely not like super strong or anything. I've been doing the leak code grind this past like month or two,
Yeah.
and I've got to like 40-ish questions on leak code. So like I'm going through it.
Nice.
It's definitely doable.
Yeah, it's a
Um,
long process and
yeah,
like
it's hard.
I mean, but it's just if you put the work in, you're gonna get good. You know, like
Yeah.
I've never
No,
seen someone
yeah.
put the work in and still be bad.
Oh yeah, no, I could definitely tell I'm getting better at it. It's just like being able to recognize like the algorithms, that type of stuff. It's like, you know what I mean? It's tricky if you've never seen some of the problems before.
Yeah,
That's about it. It's probably academically one of the harder things I've ever had to do. Um, yeah. But what's it called? For job stuff.
yeah,
I've been applying to a lot recently, and I think one of the issues is like obviously I don't have any tech experience yet, so that's probably one of the big reasons why I get denied to everything. I've probably applied to like 100 plus, but also I think one of the issues is I didn't apply early enough for a lot of the stuff. I didn't realize how far you have to apply in advance for a lot of
yeah,
these companies.
yeah,
It's like 8 months or something. Like some of these like 6 months in advance. Like it's crazy. So I've got rejected like everything.
yeah. So what did you want to cover? Is it more job hunt or like navigating your?
Basically, how do I like my main goal right now, like the only thing I'm focusing on is trying to get like that first initial experience, like job
Yeah,
wise. And I've been trying to do like projects on this. Like I'm one of the videos I watched, you were recommending projects, and you recommended building a personal finance app, like a full stack website using I think Django was the database and stuff.
mm-hmm.
And I did that recently. I didn't use Django. I used Flask and SQLite, but like I did that project, and then I also attended a hackathon about a month
Nice.
ago, and that was pretty cool. Built like a full stack app.
Yeah,
So I've been doing a combination of like trying to get like projects to be able to get the interview, and then I've been trying to like do the leak code stuff to like be able to like pass the interview, I guess.
yeah,
And yeah, I'm just trying to get that like first initial experience, if you know what I mean. It's like the
yeah.
hardest part.
So junior is third year, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm entering my junior year this fall.
Yeah. So first off, like you do have a resume already built out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of
Okay.
the things with the resume, I know that like you're supposed to do like the XYZ, I think is what you called it. You accomplished X using Y, which had Z result.
Yeah.
I'm not I with the level of projects that I'm doing, like I don't I it's really hard for me to come up with the Z part where it's like had like Z result like a 10% more efficient or like created like a faster user experience, like that type of stuff. Like I'm really bad at like BSing the how you like write out your projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
like my
guess like
hardest thing.
let's just assume that you have a decent resume right now. Um, so first off, interviews
Yeah.
or companies are gonna start posting within the next, I will or around probably July and August. You're gonna start
Okay.
seeing stuff come out, and that's way ahead of, cause you're probably gonna be doing full time in September to December and December to May, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So you're probably gonna be looking for May internships. That's when you're trying
Yeah.
to land your first one.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
So yeah, so you need to start preparing now,
Yeah.
and start looking for stuff being posted in early July and August, and then like worst case like September. Like people start, and like you mentioned, you already realized this that companies start posting very early,
Yeah.
in the summer. And like, why is that the case? Well, because like they usually a lot of the times they even have their head count filled out by December, or even January. Because I've had people come up to me, and they're like, "Oh, is your company hiring?" And they'll be asking me in January. At that point, like, you'll notice that a lot of companies already filled the head count
Wow, that's
for
insane. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's just
like
far out.
if people failed out and stuff, then they'll do more rounds. But they do interviews from September to January.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
see that. Yeah.
it's actually pretty early. So good thing you already noticed that. So just be preparing right now. Work on your resume. So strategies for actually landing a your first experience.
Yeah.
So what I would prioritize is first tech companies, like actual, just the regular ones, like fan companies or startups, or like any company where you're actually gonna be you're gonna work as a software engineer.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's the title. But if you can't get any of those, also really good ways to break in the doors through like research labs or like research internships.
Yeah, I started
So
applying
yeah,
for some for my school. They have some for transfer students from community college to like to like university and stuff, and I got rejected to all of them.
oh wow,
But
like
I do know what you mean. Yeah, the research stuff is really good. I kind of like the research stuff, so it's not like that bad if I'm only able to get research stuff. I thought it was really cool, like some of the stuff they're doing. I watched like videos on the projects, and the research stuff does seem cool.
yeah,
But yeah, I know what
and
you
it
mean.
still counts as like an internship, right? Like
Yeah,
if you can't work corporate and but you still that summer work, or yeah, that summer worked at a research lab and was doing research.
yeah,
It's really useful, especially you get your name on a paper or you actually like learn a lot of things. It's still better than doing nothing that summer, and it might even be better than actually working a real internship depending on like the research lab. But yeah, those
yeah. You
are
probably get to meet
probably
some cool people too.
yeah, those are probably the two tiers that you got. And like when you applied, did you know the professor already?
No, no, I didn't know it. But that's like probably my weakest thing is like I know like two people at all in CS, and like they're not in at my level at all. They're like way higher up.
Yeah.
So I don't know anyone yet.
So like what I would say is when you're applying for those research labs, also reach out to the professors maybe directly. Send them an
Yeah,
email. Send them maybe some of the things you worked on. Like
yeah,
even when I was applying, I did a lot of cold emails or cold messaging people on LinkedIn. It's like of
yeah. I probably should have
sending
done
them my
that.
portfolio. Do you have a portfolio website?
No, no.
You
I
should
don't. Well,
just
not one that's like updated at all recently.
you could like vibe code that out in like a day now these days.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's it called? Cursor just came out free for like students and stuff, and I was testing it out, and that's pretty quick.
Yeah, you could spin up. So what you should just spin up a quick website, deploy it, and add your projects and stuff, and have a link to your resume to all the
Oh,
projects that you're
I
working
was
on.
gonna ask. For your projects, I've been just doing localhost. Do people normally like put it like on the web, like do like a full stack, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Have it on the web.
Oh, okay,
That
okay.
takes it a step further. A lot of the really good candidates I see, like they have links to their projects, and you can click and actually use their project online.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Because normally I just been doing it localhost, and I was like, damn, like this shit is kind of like, especially when you get into like API stuff, you can't run it. Like no one has the keys, like they can't see what my project looks like from their end.
They can never,
So
yeah,
yeah,
they won't be able to run it. So
yeah. Okay.
the
So yeah,
best
deploy
thing
it
that they'll
full on the
do,
web. Yeah.
like if they really took it a step further, they'll look at your code. But who has time to do that, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're looking at shit for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they might click it, they might see the nice UI already. They're like, oh, nice, they actually built something,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
it actually shows you understand how to deploy stuff
Yeah.
onto that. That's very important. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
could have just vibe coded the portfolio website.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I can definitely do that. That definitely makes sense. Because when I was doing the projects, I was thinking like, damn, they can't see anything. They're not going to be able to see it, like unless they download it, like run the requirements, like all that stuff. So yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
deploy it. Like
Okay.
Vercel is some like in someone's in the chat. I have my personal website using Vercel and
Okay. Yeah,
using
that makes
Next.js.
sense. Yeah. Okay. So what would you say is like usually like the level that you have to be at for like these like positions that like I'd be like applying to for like the lead code stuff? Like I want to get done with the neat code 150. I've been doing the neat code 150. I want to get done with that by June, and then I saw that you said that you should start with I forget that website, but it has an elo rating, like how
Hmm.
like chess is for the league code stuff and like just finding the elo and going through. Like, where would you say like the level you need to like be at in terms of like the rating for that zero? What is it called? I forget what the
Zero
website's
track,
called.
zero track.
Zero track, yeah. Like, do you think there's like a certain elo range that you should like definitely be at for like a lot of these online assessments?
Yeah, so I like zero track. I wouldn't even do it if my goal was just to get a job.
Really? Okay.
People, I only do zero track, and other of the people on the channel only do zero track because they just want to just get really good.
Oh yeah,
But
bro. Some of the people in your channel are like
yeah,
they're inspiring. Like Paul and Alpha, I always see those guys are going at it with
yeah,
like their like mathematical solutions and stuff. I'm like, damn, I want to be like that. It's pretty cool.
no, they're really good, but they're just
Yeah.
like those guys could just probably pass any lead code style interview. So what I
Yeah.
would do is first focus on specific like data structures.
Yeah.
So I would go topic by topic, as in I would start off with arrays and understand arrays in depth. What I mean by arrays, I would understand all of the operations on arrays, like inserts, deletions, indexing, like what are the runtime complexities. Then I would do the common array question. So I would focus topic by topic. Then I'd move on to like linked lists or depth first search and just spend time on depth first search for a week or two, topic by topic, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm doing on the decode. I'm going through each one and I'm going all the way to the. I finished the whole thing, like to the hard problems on like each topic.
Yeah, and then once you finish specific topics, you'll be able to pass at least like 70% of the interviews, right?
Okay.
After that, start going to specific algorithms. So what are specific algorithms? Like two pointers, Dijkstra's,
Yeah. Yeah.
topological
On the
sort.
TikTok one, I got asked the Dijkstra's and a breadth first search. I
Exactly.
remember that. Yeah.
So I would start going algorithm by algorithm, union find, right? The common
Um.
ones, binary search. So those are
Yeah.
patterns that like operate on those data structures, but those ones like I have a video also on the top six common patterns. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
seen that
I
yet.
was gonna ask like some of this stuff on here. I'm thinking like I don't know if they get asked for like the roles that I'll be applying to, like some of the stuff like backtracking, 2D dynamic programming, bit manipulation. Does that stuff asked for like the positions that I'd be applying to?
I
Do
would
you think
say I would say
less common?
it's less common. So
Yeah,
the most popular ones are two pointers, sliding
yeah,
window. Those are very common.
yeah. I'm pretty
Depth
good at
depth
those.
backtracking, that one's common. Depth first search, breadth first search, and then binary
Okay,
search.
yeah,
So
okay,
those will cover a lot of ones. And then I've been asked topological sort a lot, but honestly I've barely been asked dynamic programming. I've barely been asked I've never been asked the bit manipulation question, so those
okay.
ones are way less common.
Yeah, usually whenever you do the like the live coding interviews, I usually like follow along with it. I try to like do the questions on my own to kind of see where I'm at with some of these people,
How
and
are
like
you
I'm getting
doing?
better at it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, we should run one at some point.
Yeah, I'm definitely down. I'm definitely trying to get better at it.
Yeah, and just send me your resume.
Yeah,
I'll do
I
some
have
I'll
it in
go over some work on.
your channel actually.
Oh really? Did you anonymize it already?
I don't think I did that.
Oh, okay, okay. I'll look
I
at a
mean,
different
I
time.
don't really care. I don't think
See.
it's I basically when I put it in there, the advice that I got from a lot of people in the channel was I need to be better at the XYZ thing, and like I just don't know how to put
Oh,
the
I
Z
see.
part,
Yeah.
and then they say kind of just lie about it. I don't know like how though with some of these projects.
Wait. I requested edit access.
Yeah, let me see.
You should do it too.
That should be on Google Drive. You think? Let's see.
Yeah. First off, I feel like your resume is super empty right now.
Yeah, I know. It's not good. I need to get better projects on there for sure.
Yeah, I requested edit access. I'll just quickly like X out some spots. You can change it after.
Yeah, I think I gave you access. Let's see.
Nice.
Yeah, you can. Okay.
This.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's not good. Like, I'm not saying it's good at all. I understand why I'm getting rejected.
Okay, I'm gonna hear. So let's look at it. Okay, I think you're ordering it properly. You have education. That's the most important part.
Yeah,
I
because
would
everything
put,
else is so weak.
yeah, projects. I would move my work experience above the skills
Okay.
because like what does the skills even tell you? It doesn't really tell anything. It's just more just like for
Yeah.
um the ATS. Like if you say you know JavaScript, like how do you prove it, right? Well, you
Yeah.
proved it because
To
you
the
did
projects.
projects, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why it doesn't. That's why like it doesn't really matter that it's at the
Okay.
bottom here.
Yeah, I figured because my work experience isn't like related to like tech, so that's why I put it so far down. But yeah, that
I
makes
would just
sense.
like update the spacing here a little bit, like just a little bit too much spacing there.
Okay.
When is your expected graduation?
I think it's May 2027.
I would explicitly just say that, or I
Okay.
guess it kind of says here, but I'd be like maybe like we can go current expected. Something like that. So
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I see a lot of the companies when I apply to them, they always are like, "What's the expected
this one,
graduation?"
I think, yeah, this is more explicit.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I see that. That makes sense.
I would add more links here, like add your LinkedIn and stuff. Build a LinkedIn presence a bit, or just add people on LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have one of those
LinkedIn.
yet.
Oh, add one for sure. That's how
Okay.
I get all my jobs.
Okay.
Portfolio, website, and GitHub.
Yeah, I definitely need to be better at the networking part. I'm
Yeah.
not that good at it.
So you can do this, and you could even like one way you could even just like add a hyperlink here, so it's not. So when you add your portfolio website and the LinkedIn, otherwise it just makes it look nicer. Right?
Yeah, yeah, I get you. Some people have like the icon for like the GitHub thing I saw.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I would just like improve the bullet points a bit, and you could just run that through GPT.
Yeah, yeah. To get the percentages in there and like the numbers better. The Z.
But that's only do that really when you have work experience. I think it's fine to do it to have it like you're not optimizing anything when you're
Yeah, I'm
building a
not.
project for the first time. It's like you're just building it from 0 to 1,
Yeah,
so it doesn't make as much sense.
yeah. There's no optimization though. I'm just trying to get it to work.
Yeah,
So like,
exactly.
please
So,
run.
but what I would try to do is like one thing that would set it apart is if you build something that maybe had users. So
Yeah,
pretend you did you built something in a hackathon you want. Like what are the achievements with the project? So like,
yeah,
projects are fine, and that still will get you a job. But like to even set yourself even further, like if you build one and it gets actual users, or you build one and you win a competition, that might set you even further apart.
yeah,
But yeah, you have time. I think just build up more projects and fill this out a little bit. Um,
yeah. Would you say like would you recommend like I don't know how to put like the next pro like kind of like the genre of like what projects I should be working on like now? Because I've got like the simple ones. I wanted to build a deploy one like fully like online is my next one. You know what I mean?
yeah, and like what you'd have to do is just like have like link to the website or something like that,
Yeah, yeah,
and just like to do a hyperlink. You could also just make it public in GitHub and just have the GitHub link there. That also works. Sometimes I do both. Like I'll just have like GitHub
yeah.
and like the link to the website if I want both access. But yeah, maybe we could have a section called like technologies used. I don't know why it's not making a bullet point. So you could update it like this. just to avoid cluttering it.
Yeah. Do you think most job applications that you send are being filtered to the ATS, or do you think recruiters are actually like reading them before?
I think they're reading. I think that the ATS helps, it prioritizes who they're looking at.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's so much there's so many resumes coming in. I doubt, like they need some AI to rank and sort them
Oh
and
yeah,
tell
for
you,
sure.
like,
Yeah.
there's no way that they're looking at all of them. So you'll see them say that they're not using the ATS. It's like, but I'm pretty sure the ATS is definitely sorting them. And
Yeah. How
then
how would you recommend me going about applying? So like what I've been doing like to apply for stuff, I've just been like trying to find everywhere. I'll Google like jobs near me for like the software stuff. I'll do LinkedIn. I'll try to find it. I'll try to do Indeed, all the things. You have like a recommendation for like how to go about it?
so what I do is first create my LinkedIn profile,
Yeah.
fill out everything on my LinkedIn. On your LinkedIn, you can point out to different projects, you can point out to all of your classes, you can point out to different awards. Like LinkedIn, you could build your whole resume on LinkedIn,
Okay.
essentially, and add everything there. Because a lot of recruiters use LinkedIn to find people. So you could specify all the stuff there, and then I would set my thing as open to work,
Okay.
so that they know that you're open to work. And then I would just optimize my LinkedIn profile. Honestly, my best luck has been through LinkedIn, and that's before I ever had any social media presence.
Okay. I'll have to get on that then.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes
that's like
sense.
the best way. Yeah. What other questions you got?
Um, I don't know. I've been struggling with coming up with ideas for my next project. Because I've just been doing the lead code grind. And I want to be able to do like a project that both like I can learn some stuff and probably like deploy it online. I then like learn some skills along the way too. Because I saw you recommended the personal finance app, and that was pretty good. I got to work with like APIs and stuff like that.
I don't remember doing this. Develop the or recommending
I,
that,
I have
but
I have the photo I think from your stream that I took.
so that's so funny. Integrated Plaid. Oh, so you actually integrated Plaid into your own personal?
Yeah, I got dummy
Wow.
info.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, through the Plaid API. Yeah, let's see.
So
I
I
took
think
a photo.
when
Yeah.
I'm looking at your projects right now, I could tell you're good at, you're able to do some front end and some back end.
Yeah.
What APIs did you use? Or you use RESTful backend?
Yeah.
So do something with like like we need to include some infrastructure like AWS. So infrastructure. We need to show some infrastructure. So deploy it on like AWS or Vercel or something. I would suggest playing around with AWS
Yeah,
a
it
little
feels pretty
bit.
common. Yeah, a lot of people want that shit.
Yeah, because
Um, d-
now that you have full, now you can do front end, back end, and infrastructure. And then instead of using SQLite, because that's more local,
yeah,
get the database online.
yeah. I DM'd you the picture of what I took it from. I was on your stream and I saw you were like writing stuff out. Yeah, oh yeah, you said on there. Yeah, host on AWS, deploy on.
Nice.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, try out Dynamo. Yeah, yeah, exactly. This is good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense.
So this one is in React. So I would also diversify too. Then like use Python, or wait, you use Flask, or you're using the same AP technologies.
I use
Okay.
Python for the personal finance app mostly. Like the
Okay.
backend's all
Nice. Nice.
Python.
Yeah. No, I think overall it's looking good. I think just building out more projects and just building out your LinkedIn and then applying for, just spamming applying.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, it's a lot. I get like a 4 email rejection letters a day. It's crazy.
Also go on like Y Combinator or something and just look for companies. You're a U.S. citizen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like go on Y Combinator and look at the companies that, like their startup directory, and try to apply to all these companies. All of
Y
them are usually.
Combinator?
You know what Y Combinator is?
No, I've never heard of it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Y Combinator is basically is the investment firm that invests in a lot of different startups that actually became successful. Like they invested in Stripe, Airbnb, Dropbox, DoorDash early. So they're a venture capital fund.
Okay. So wait,
So
what? How do I use them?
so basically just go on YC
Yeah,
and then
I'm
look
on
at
their website.
so most of these most of these companies that are under them are trying to grow because they just got investment from Y Combinator and they're trying to become a real company. So they're usually hiring. So what I would do is look at the companies that Y Combinator invested in and try to apply at those companies. And you know that these companies are pretty decent
Yeah, because they're
because
investing.
they got invested in by Y
Yeah.
Combinator and Y Combinator
Uh,
does a thorough analysis on these companies.
okay, that makes really good sense. Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah, that's goaded.
we could also you could also try like looking at different venture capital funds like Kleiner Perkins and stuff, and then go on like Kleiner Perkins jobs. You can see it's 2,379 jobs, and then enter like software engineer 541 jobs, and it's showing all of the different companies under Kleiner Perkins. Like Kleiner Perkins is a venture capital fund. They put money into all these different startups, and now they want to put the best people in these startups so that those startups can do well and they can make the money. So they also try to help recruit for them. So that's why they have these job boards.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually really good advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hunter Perkins, apply. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that's all the advice that I needed. That was really helpful.
Yeah, and just like write these different ones down, like Kleiner Perkins, Sequoia Capital, like A16Z. Just look up, just GPT. Be like, what are the top venture capital funds, and then venture capital funds. What they do is, you're probably familiar, but they take money from people who have extra money and they invest it into startups. So they have like a
Okay.
big portfolio of startups in all types of different verticals, like fintech to AI to crypto to healthcare. So just look at these client, like look at these venture capital funds. A lot of these venture capital funds already vetted these startups for you. They already did interview. Like they wouldn't put money in a startup they didn't believe in.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Okay.
so yeah, these are good startups to go after. And yeah, apply to those. Apply to big companies. Or just apply all around. Just and
Yeah.
then apply
Okay.
for research. Like yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
the
and then at the
advice.
same time work on projects and leak code it up.
Dude, it's a grind, man. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
grind,
I
bro.
mean, it's yeah, it's something.
Yeah. All right. Nice chatting with you. Hopefully that's
Yep.
it. Just message me for anything.
Yep. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
All right. See
Problem.
ya.
See ya. Okay, we got the next person in. All right. Next person's coming on.
Can you hear me? What's up? What's up? How you been?
Sorry, I'm muted. You're in high school, right? Or no? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. No, sorry, I'm lagging a bit. Yeah, I am.
Nice, nice. So what's up?
Okay. So basically, I think we talked last time, and we were discussing like leak code and stuff. And I guess like since then, I decided to
Yeah. We can't hear you.
I've started doing like the leak code like easy problems in Java because it's like the first language and like my best language.
Yep.
And then Oh wait, you can't hear me?
No, I'm good. You're good now. You're good now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, wait. Okay, so yeah, I started doing the easy leak code problems in Java, and then after that, I've been trying to solve them in C++ and Python because I just like want to start to learn like the syntax for those languages.
Yep.
And then yeah, I mean it's been pretty good so far. Like honestly, like the like languages are like somewhat.
You're cutting a bit in and out. Wait, chat. Is he cutting in and out for you too, or what? Give him a sec. Give him a sec.
Far.
Wait one sec. You cut out really hard. Could you
Oh
just
no way.
repeat that
Okay,
again?
here, give me a second. Give me a second.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All it did was just like, you cut out, and then 2 minutes later, you continue. You continued.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Wait
you're
here.
blocking
Just
something.
Okay. Um. All right. So yeah. Wait. Like, what did I last say? Then.
Well, let's just start from scratch. Like you started
Sure.
doing
So
interview questions in Java. You switched over
yeah.
to
Well,
some.
it hasn't really been like interview questions because to be honest, like I'm not good enough to start doing them. But I found like this website that has like a leak code elo system, and I've been like working from the like lowest elo on, and like I've just been doing like for every single leak code problem that I do. Um, I do it like in Java first, and then I try to do it in Python and C++ since I'm just trying to like understand those languages better. Can you still hear me, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear you 100%.
Okay, perfect.
You're talking about zero track, right? You're using zero track to find very easy questions.
Uh,
Now you cut out again. Wait, what'd you say?
I said,
You're
yeah,
using
I
zero
have been.
track? Yeah, okay. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, you've been since you're using zero track.
Hmm.
So what's your question? Like, how to get better? Or sorry.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, honestly, like that's just like where I am so far. But like,
Nice.
since I'm going to college next year, like I just had like a lot of questions about like, uh, the whole like applying to internships process and like the resume stuff. Like I can ask, like I wrote some questions down if you want
Sure.
me to
Yeah. Go
ask
ahead.
them.
Go ahead. Just shoot him.
Okay, sure. So, I guess like I heard like since like CS is like very oversaturated, like it's obviously very difficult to get like an internship or like job offers as like a CS major. So I guess like
We cut out again. Cut out. Wait. Let me see. Let me
in
pause
your
it
first
first.
semester or like in your second semester or
Wait. You.
okay, then it's definitely just the headphones then.
Okay.
Okay.
So what was the question?
Uh I just had like questions like first off like when do you like apply for like most of the internships like as a college student?
Yeah. So starting in July and August, probably later in August and September, you're gonna start seeing jobs posted. So
Hmm.
what one thing you could actually look up is you can go like you can look up Sweet internship. So you can go on like Sweet internships on GitHub, and a lot of times
Hmm.
people post like a big list of Sweet internships and when they came out, like how long
Okay,
ago.
okay.
I'll send you this. Like you could look up a ton of different lists. But honestly, people start posting interviews in August and September. So pretty much be prepared by September and August, or
Dang.
be prepared by mid August to start getting interviews in September, October, November, December. So that
Okay.
means you should be
And it's
getting good at leak code right now.
yeah, no, that's what I've been doing. And is it even like, do you think it's even possible for like a freshman to get like an internship?
Yeah, there's a lot of freshman specific programs like
Oh,
Google
really?
Step Intern. There's like a Microsoft one. There's one specifically made for first year students. And usually, if you can actually land one of those, it really sets a really good trajectory for your career. Like all the people I know who landed ones in their first year, went
Yeah.
did really good. But also, if you can't get a internship, like I mentioned to the last guy, you could also do research.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't mind doing research. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
those usually that counts as work experience as well, doing research. So,
uh-huh.
like if you can get a job at a research lab, that's gonna help you get a internship in your second year. And once you
Uh-huh.
get your foot in the door and start getting getting actual internships, it makes all the other ones easier. And the
Right.
market is cooked, but it's not. It's basically the barrier to entry just increased. All these
Mm-hmm.
companies are still looking to hire people, but they're just not willing to hire someone they don't think is good. So
Mm-hmm.
people who have good work experience, people who have done great projects in the past, companies are always looking to hire those people right now.
I see.
Like basically all these companies, you could even see that the way they're changing the compensation is they're really trying to compensate high performers and they're really trying to get high performers into their company. That's
Uh-huh.
kind of where the status is at. So the competition is fierce, more like as fierce as it ever was for top talent, and companies are still hiring for that.
I see. And are there actually like any internship opportunities like as for like in the second semester of college? Because I feel like honestly I'll be like much like more prepared for like internships in my second semester, and like also I'm taking like pretty like difficult classes in second semester, and like I feel like it might like maybe improve like my resume a bit, like if I can include them somewhere.
Yeah. So so one thing about writing your one thing about resume, like you're writing your resume too, right? If I'm in the middle of my first semester and I'm working on some cool projects, the projects might not be done till the end of the semester. One of my friends I already told him to do this, and he did it. Helped him get a job, but he was working on like a REST API, and it was only going to be done by the end of the semester. But the job he was applying to required knowledge of REST APIs. I told him just put it in your resume, write it in your resume like you already did it,
Uh-huh.
because
So
by the
like
time you start the internship, you would have already done it.
okay.
So
So
just
right.
like if you're in the middle of the semester and you're working on some cool projects that's gonna finish in like 1 month or a month and a half, just put it on your resume. And when they ask you, be like, "Yeah, we're working on this. We're halfway done, but it's not fully finished. But I'm learning REST APIs. I'm learning like how to
Okay.
test REST APIs.
Right.
I'm learning object oriented. I'm working on this big project, learning GitHub. Like, have that on your resume. Don't worry about if you haven't done it yet, because you
I see.
by the time you start the internship, it's actually gonna be a concrete, legit project."
Right. Okay, and also like I had like a kind of like a silly question as well, but like I don't really understand like GitHub that much. Like I know like from what I understand, like you kind of like upload your projects on it and stuff, but like I think it definitely goes like deeper than that, but like that's all I know so far, and it like seems to be something that's like pretty important in like the computer science like community, I guess. But like I was just wondering if you could explain it like a little more.
Yeah, it's not a silly question. It's definitely a good question, and people don't. Maybe it's good to understand, right?
Right.
So GitHub or version control was just introduced for people so that they can share their code online, right? So you could think
Mm-hmm.
about GitHub similar to Google Docs, but so Google Docs you put in a document and that's the remote version. But everyone kind of can open up the doc and they'll make changes to the doc, but then it reflects right away on like the one in the cloud, right? The one on the server.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So that GitHub is almost like that, but it doesn't reflect right away,
Uh-huh.
right? So it's essentially used to share code, and you pretty much push your code into a server, and then other people can have access to it. So pretend we're both working on the same front end website, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna create a repository online, and repository is essentially just a folder where we're gonna store all of our front end code, and then I can work on that project on that repository by myself, and you can work on it separately. And as we make changes locally, but it won't reflect online yet,
Uh,
right?
yeah, I understand.
But the reason why it's not reflecting online is just if we the, there's some version controls, like if you wanted to make it do that, you could, right?
Hmm.
But I mean, we don't really want it. It doesn't really make sense for it to just keep pushing that often, because you
Yeah.
usually want what's online or what's on the server or what's in the main repository to be a stable version of the code, because usually
Okay.
what's in the repository is what gets deployed to users.
Right.
So what GitHub essentially is it's just managing, or it's just allowing people to share their code online, but it's a version control system as well. So it's also tracking the different, as you keep pushing stuff to GitHub, it's also tracking the different versions of your
Okay.
code. So if, like I mentioned, we always want a stable version of the code. If we somebody pushes to the repository and it's not stable, since it's version controlled, we could always revert or go back to a stable version, because
Hmm.
it's maintaining like sort of a history of the code. And you could also view how it changes over time. So it's essentially like Google Docs, but more specific to code, and it has features that are more specific to programmers. Does it make
All right.
sense? No.
Yeah, no, 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 that makes sense. Thank you. Okay. And
So
also,
it just allows people to collaborate on code, and then there's so
right.
much things that you could expand on it. But I think the main thing is just being able, that you should start off with, is just being able to create a repository online, and
Yeah.
then like push to it from, like pull it locally, like clone it locally. They say
Hmm.
make changes, commit changes, and then push those changes locally back up to the server so that other people who are on the repository can see it.
Okay. I was also wondering, like, um, oh, wait, I wrote it down somewhere. Um, yeah, I guess I was wondering, since I'm applying as like a incoming college student to these like first year programs, will my resume just include all of like my experiences from high school?
Like, what experiences do you have from high school already?
Well, I like am doing an internship already this summer. It's like sort of like software engineering, but like I'm working like with a startup and like I'm um like what's it called? I'm gonna do like some software engineering stuff. So I was definitely considering adding that. And I mean, I don't know, like I actually haven't even really done any projects yet. Like in all of my like high school CS courses, usually the teacher will like send out like an assignment and we'll like turn it in by the next week. So I haven't really done anything that's like too like long term. Uh, I did do like I guess like for my data structures and algorithms final project, like I did like some front end and back end thing, but like I don't feel like it's that relevant at all. Like I feel like it's not very like relevant and it's also like not very challenging. So I don't know like if I should include it or like if I should work on other things over the summer and then try and get those done before I like actually finalize anything with my resume.
Yeah. So for your resume, make sure that you structure it in this following format, because you're just starting school. I mean, have
Hmm.
your education. Are you going to a good school? Like a pretty good school?
I mean I think it's okay.
Okay. But yeah, just say your education, then talk about your projects. Or since
Uh-huh.
you already have experience, what I would do is I would do my school, my experience, because you actually have some experience,
Yep.
projects, and then like skills and technologies.
Okay. And then skills and technologies would just be like coding languages I'm good at and like
Yeah,
Uh,
frameworks, databases.
all right. Um, and I know this is like a pretty general question, but like, do you have any like project suggestions or like anything I can do? Like, I don't really know how to like approach like starting a project and stuff.
Yeah, I answered this for the other guy. Let me grab it.
Uh-huh.
I'll send
I mean,
this to you too.
I feel like when I have like an idea of like what I actually want to do, like I think it'll become like much easier. But like as of right now, like I don't even know like really what like I want to even like what the project will even be. Like I don't know. I'm just kind of struggling with like thinking of something that like I'd want to like actually solve or like something I'd want to make like a program to like handle.
You know, like the lowest hanging fruit is just building your portfolio website. So build
Hmm.
a portfolio website using a front end like React.
Yeah.
Have some sort of back end, maybe some database.
Hmm.
So build some features that maybe they can ask you questions, or you can anything that involves storing data. So have a front end and a back end. So I have a list here of what your project should include. It should include a front end, a back end. You should host it on something like AWS, like the back end, and then you should deploy your front end so that people can actually interact with your front end. And that's kind of the full stack, like being able to work on the front end, being able to work on the back end, and then
Right.
being able to actually take your project and have it viewable on the internet. I think that's the main things that you want. Every project is gonna have these components, and then
Right.
probably just find out a project that you're passionate about, that because this is gonna take you time. Maybe find some problems that you have that you want to solve, and then solve it.
Okay.
That makes sense so far.
Yeah, I understand it. And then I should ideally like start this like before I like actually start like applying to internships.
Yeah, like I would just start projects as soon as possible.
Okay. So I guess like do you think I should like prioritize like lead code over projects or like projects over lead code or like probably equally?
I would prioritize. I would say 60-40, 60-40, 60 as in I'd work on projects, and 40% of my time doing lead code.
All right, perfect.
Because projects help you land interviews, and lead code actually helps you pass the interview.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of companies, they won't even ask you lead code questions. They'll just ask you practical questions. So if you can't even solve if you don't do projects, you won't be able to solve those practical questions.
Like practical questions like about like languages or like about my projects or something or what?
Yeah, they might ask you, what's a SQL join, right? Or like, how do you host a front end? What's Node.js?
Okay.
What are like some backend frameworks? What's a REST
Yeah.
API? So this is all things you learn once you start doing projects.
Uh-huh. All right. Um okay. Um and like actually, I think this is probably good enough for now. I think when I start like doing my projects and like start working on lead code and like probably after my internship, I'll probably make like a resume and then do you mind if I like send it over to you so you can review it?
100% for sure. I got you, bro.
All right,
Thanks
yeah,
for coming out.
no problem. Thanks for having me.
All
Sorry
right,
about
sounds
the
good.
connection issues.
No worries, no worries. Thanks for
All right,
coming out. Catch
bye.
you soon. All right, see you. All right, that's a bunch of. We got more coding interviews coming up. We got two more people, but we're gonna take a quick intermission.